Dave here. I just put on the first side of my side rails on my Nissan Frontier, and it was so easy. I'm going to show you just how easy they are, and I'll give you links so you can look them up yourself if you want to get some rails for your truck. I don't know about other trucks, but the Nissan Frontier is so easy. I mean, it took me 10 minutes to get the first side on. So I'll keep this short and sweet and show you just how easy these are to put on and what tools you need. You like this video? Hit the like button, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. So let me show you how to put on the side rails and what kind of side rails I got. Here we go. The brand of side rail that I got was Tyger brand. Tyger Rider. I found this on Amazon. They have several options and several choices of different kinds of rails. They have some with the little steps. This was the long black tube that I like, and they run anywhere from 150 to 200. If you take it into a dealer and ask them to put the same kind of rail on, they're going to charge you about $800 for the installation. So you can do this at a quarter of the price. So you only need a couple of basic tools. Let me show you, and I'll put links below in the description for this. This is for the Nissan Frontier. I have a 24 model, but I think these fit the 23, 24, 22 models, so check on that first before you purchase. You get 3 little brackets that go on each side. 3 on the left, 3 on the passenger side, and 3 on the driver's side. I did the passenger side already. There's already bolts down below underneath, but all you have to do is put these over the bolts, and there's nuts and washers to put over them and tighten up. My suggestion though is don't tighten them up until you get the rail on. Tighten them up by hand and leave them a little bit loose so you can kind of wiggle it around and get the rail on. Then you have these bolts, and these bolts are all 13 millimeter bolts. So you'll need a 13 millimeter wrench, 13 millimeter wrench. There's a 13 millimeter wrench, and then it helps also to have a 13 millimeter socket. All right, so that's basically all you need, the wrench and the socket wrench, and then get your tools out. And you can do these pretty quick. So I'm going to turn the truck around so I can put it in the shade here. I'll turn it around so I can do the driver's side. I got the passenger side done, but I'm going to work on the driver's side. So the first thing I did is put the clamps on. There's 3 of these that go underneath on each side. There's 3 that go on the passenger side, 3 that go on the driver's side. These are the driver's side, of course. Here's the driver. So I'm going to put these on first and tighten them up. You're going to need 2 bolts and washers for each one. So I'm going to go down and put them on. The bolts are already there, so I'm going to hand tighten them. I'm not going to use the wrench yet. I'm going to tighten them up later. Now on my truck, underneath here are 2 bolts on. This is on the front. There's 2 bolts in the middle that are already there, and then in the back there's 2 more. I'll show you those. There's 2 more in the back. So the bolts are already there. You just need the nuts and washers and the brackets to put on there. Put the bracket on over those 2 bolts, and then get your washer. Do the top one first. And like I said earlier, you're just going to hand tighten those. So put the bolt on and just hand tighten it. There, like that. And trying to get the camera to show this. There. There. And just hand tighten them first. You don't want them, you want them snug, but you don't want them real tight. You want a little bit of play. There. See, it's got a little bit of play, but they're on kind of hand snug. Later on, you can get your wrench up here and tighten those all the way. But you want a little bit of play so that you can move this around in case you need to put the rail down there and move it around a little bit. So you're going to do the same thing as I just did right here. You're going to do the same thing you did here in the middle and the back. So the same thing here in the middle, and the same thing for the back too. All right, so let's get those on and I'll show you how they look. All right, I've got my 3 brackets on. But notice they're not completely snug. There's the front, or the back, middle, and the front. What you're going to do is just lay the rail right on top of here. And you want these to be a little bit loose so you can kind of wiggle them in case the the holes don't line up exactly in the right spots. The other side, it actually did line up pretty well, but I had to loosen the middle one up just to wiggle it around a little bit. So just be aware of that. You might, if you tighten them too tight, you're going to have to untighten them so you can wiggle it around a little bit. Now I'm ready to put the rail on. Once I get the rail on, I'm going to use these bolts to go underneath through these holes like that. These go into the railing, and then you tighten these up with a 13mm wrench. Let me show you one of the railings. You can see under the rails are these holes. These are where the bolts are going to go in. So I'm going to set it right on top of those rails like that. It's like pretty heavy steel. It's got like a little powder coating on it, a little coating on the steel here. Tyger. Something like that. There's the holes right there. There's the holes right there. I can feel them. And there's two holes in front. So like I said, you want to make sure you wiggle it. Leave these clamps so you can wiggle them a little bit. Now I'm going to go down and bolt them on. So you're just going to put the bolts in there. And my suggestion is when you put the bolts in, don't tighten them up until you get everything in. Let's put the first one in. Most of these you can put in and just tighten them up by hand. There's another one that goes in the back there. Just be careful when you're putting these in that you get it in the right way so you don't cross thread any of these. If it goes in easy by hand, then you're doing good. There. See it? Nothing's really tight yet. I'm going to do the same thing with the middle and same thing with the front side. So let me get those bolts in and we'll see how it does. See, that's the one. The middle one is the one you gotta worry about adjusting the most. Don't tighten them up full. Just put them in loosey. Lucy, I'm home. Everything's still kind of loose, so I'm gonna tighten it up later. Ah, there we go. Now they're there. This middle one was the one that gave me trouble on the other side. I tightened everything up too much. And I should have waited until I had everything in real good and then tighten them up. There we go. Alright. All the bolts are in. Now they just need to be tightened up. That's where I use the socket wrench. Again, I'm not going to tighten everything really tight yet. Just tight enough and not get whacked in the face. You don't need to lift the truck up because the truck's pretty high. It's about 9.5, 10 inches. You could, if you had like little ramps to pull up on, it might make it nice if you had ramps. Give you a little more room. But you can do it without ramps. Just like I did. And the back. Alright. So far so good. I just have to make sure the brackets are tight underneath. Because I didn't tighten them before. So go underneath and just do them, tighten them up. There. This is where your little wrench comes in handy because it's kind of hard to get under here with a socket. Just a regular open-ended wrench will work just fine. And tighten them up. A little light might help too. Hey, I did this in the evening yesterday and it was darker than this, so I know you can do it in the dark. Here's the front. I'm going to tighten the front. Do the same to the front, the middle, and the back. Get these really good and tight. It's hard to do this and hold the camera too. So I'm just gonna put the camera down for a few minutes, but I think you got the idea. You're gonna use the wrench just to tighten these up in the front, the middle, and the back. All right, we're on. That is so easy. It's actually, I did it a lot faster when last night on the other side when I didn't have to hold the camera and film it. It took me longer to film it and do it at the same time, but I hope this helps you. It's really it is so stinking easy to put these on. 10 minutes each side and you're done. A few tools, a wrench, 13mm for these. Now, depending on your truck, you might have a 1/2 inch or whatever size your truck takes on the side. Some trucks you have to put the bolts in because they don't have the bolts underneath. So you may have to get it depends on the make and model of your truck. But check online. You can get these a lot cheaper on Amazon. I'll put a link for these. These are the Tyger, Tyger, Tyger side rails. And they look sharp. It really is nice to have those on though. When you get up in the truck, it gives you something to put your foot on. Yeah. And I hope this helped you. So if you like this, please hit the like button, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, because who knows what else I might want to put on the truck. I'll show you how to do that too. Have a good day, everybody. Catch you later. Bye.